Okay, all participants are there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Jitesh is there?
I don't know. He's not here.
I'll call him. Just a minute.
I think we should start now.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay,
Good evening, ma'am.
in the essence of time, I'm just giving you a glimpse of our jury members. They are Mrs. Rima Alex Daniel, Mr. Raman Napal, and Ms. Harmeena Singh. We have Team Furious 5 with us, they are 4 members, and Anahita Verma from Dehradun, Lav Kumar Sharma from Pune, Muskan Gambhir from Udaipur, Ritik Raj from New Delhi. The team is mentored by Mr. Jitesh Khanna. He is an entrepreneur based in Delhi. He is into the business of renewable energy since last 5 years and also into the real estate development and trading for the last 20 years. An art and literature lover, he is also into fitness and nutrition. He has been associated with the world-renowned Buddhist NGO for more than a decade. Now, I request team representative Ms. Anahita to please come forward and start the presentation. Over to you, Anahita.
Good evening, everyone. So I'm Anahita, and we will. Good evening to you all. I'd like to express my gratitude to the Anon Global Foundation for giving us this opportunity, and to our mentor also, Mr. Jitesh Khanna, for guiding us through this whole process. And we had a great journey digging facts and researching upon this topic. Though the topic is already very well rehearsed in every walk of life, we have tried to point out necessary and minute details that we found out through our survey. So with this little preface, I would like to start the presentation. Over to my friends.
Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita says that anger causes delusion, which in turn causes bewilderment. This bewilderment in turn reduces the reasoning and finally leading to the destruction of an individual. Comes up in everybody's mind, what is anger? Anger is an emotional state felt by people of all ages, sexuality, nationality, and profession. It is an emotional state that may range in intensities ranging from mild irritation to intense fury. This is natural, though sometimes unwanted and irrational. An emotion everybody feels from time to time in their daily lives. This is what we call anger. Since anger is an active emotion and calls a person feeling it to respond, therefore is a need to manage this anger. The ideal goal of anger management is to control and regulate anger so that it does not result into bigger problems. With the belief that anger is danger, but investing in anger management can prove to drive out a force towards the most successful story. I now invite my friend to further introduce you to the bodily triggers and reactions to this emotion.
Yeah. So now physiology of anger, that as we all know how our body works as like control and coordination of our brain and body. Like other emotion, anger is experienced in our body as well as in our mind. So our body works in the two functions as a chemical reaction as well as electrical impulses like neurotransmitters. So chemical like catecholamine get secreted in our body, and burst of the energy is behind common for the angry desire to take immediate protective action. Next. Now, what is anger and its reaction? So anger is basically anxiety with a chemical kick. So several changes takes place in our body, like say of blood vessels to skeletal muscles, decreased of blood flow to your brain, increased blood pressure, faster heart rate, sweating, rapid breathing. Last four one is very common during the anger. So now how anger affects your brain and body. The first spark of the anger activates the amygdala before you were even aware of it. Amygdala activates the hypothalamus, which controls the master gland, which is also known as pituitary gland, and it will discharging the corticotropin hormone and activates the adrenal gland. Further, chemicals like cortisol, adrenaline, and noradrenaline get secreted in our body during during anger, and it is also known as stress hormone. So basically, our anger depend on the three system model, where derived system, soothing system, and threat system. The system are interrelated and get imbalanced and create the problems and feeling of anger. So first one is the derived system. Main purpose of system motivate us, and in this situation our body creates chemical like dopamine, and which source of things like wanting, focused, and progressing. So next one is the soothing system. Main purpose of this system is basically to promote bonding. And in this situation, our body secrete the hormones like oxytocin, and this is also known as love drug. And it will make the bonding with other people, and it shows the feelings like safe, protected, cared, and trust. When derived system and soothing system get imbalanced, it will create automatically threat system, which means protection and the threat detection. And in this case, our body secrete chemicals like adrenaline, which is also known as fight and flight hormone. when our body when our body secrete this type of hormones, feelings activated like anxiety, anger, and disgust. So now move love.
Okay, so now we will be taking a look at the cycle of anger. I believe that our mind is like a nuclear power plant, and anger is the energy created by it when the reaction is triggered. Similarly, the cycle of anger also begins with a triggering event. This is actually the starting point of anger. For example, underperforming at your job, failing in an exam, or a driver overtaking you wrongly. These mainly causes the trigger event. Then this trigger event gives rise to negative thoughts, wherein we think negative about ourselves and also others. For example, am I suitable for this job? Where we are thinking negative about ourselves. And what a careless driver. He didn't think of any other life other than his, where we are thinking negative about the other person. These negative thoughts are then responded by the mind, which leads to emotional responses. These emotional responses include feelings like anger, guilt, rage, etc. For example, the feeling of rage when a driver overtakes you, or the feeling of guilt when you underperform at your job. Then these emotional responses causes the physical symptoms. These physical symptoms are the reaction of your body to the emotional responses. Redness of your face, clenching of the jaw and hand, and sweating, etc. are the physical symptoms that your body shows. Now the anger is trapped inside your body. It wants to find a way to get out of it. And this anger is then getting out of your body by showing behavioral responses, wherein we fight with each other, yell at each other, thereby letting our anger out. These behavioral responses triggers the other person standing next to us, and in turn the person triggers us, and the cycle of anger continues again and again. Now let's see the anger iceberg. What is exactly an iceberg? Iceberg are large chunk of ices floating in the open ocean. On the outside, the iceberg may be seeming misleading, but actually the main part of the iceberg contains beneath it. Similar is the case with anger. On the outside, a person may be seeming very much angry, but on the inside there are many factors and emotions running inside him or her. He might be feeling embarrassed, tricked, overwhelmed, rejected, etc. And the outside is an angry person. Now next, we move on to the types of anger.
So now we will take a look at the types of anger that will be reflected in various parts of our presentation. So the first type is behavioral type of anger. So this type of anger is expressed physically and it is usually very, very aggressive and can be seen in different aspects of our life. And many people with emotional disabilities and disorders show this type of anger as a preliminary task. And assertive type of anger is basically a constructive type of anger, as it defines that anger can not only be a negative emotion but it can also be converted into a positive emotion. Judgmental type of anger is a type of anger where we are triggered by someone else's shortcomings, and this can be seen in a corporate type of environment where people blame themselves or and others for their shortcomings and try to blame it on others. Passive aggressive type of emotion is very verbal and it is very indirect kind of emotion and avoidant type, and the verbal expression is sarcastic and it is a very dark type of anger. And retaliatory anger is basically a very common type of anger, and we experience this in our very, very daily lives. Like whenever we have an accident, when a car crashes into someone else's car, we try to blame the other person that it was your fault or it was your fault. So there is a one emotion that I want to protect myself. So this type of anger is really known as retaliatory anger. Self-abusive anger is harm-based and it is very dark type of anger, shame-based anger, and the person here might suggest some kind of mental disorder and very rage-related issues. Verbal kind of anger is less harmful, but more harmful on psychological and emotional perspectives. Paranoid type of anger is usually found in mentally disabled person where irrational thoughts trigger their anger in a very rageful way. So now,
Oh, so sorry, I think there is an error. One second,
what is
I'll be fixing.
happening?
Love, we are able to see an empty slide. Please check that.
Yes, just 1 second. Are you able to see now?
No, no, no. Oh, no, man, are you kidding me? This is unacceptable. We guys are in the middle of a presentation.
Sorry, one second. I'm trying to figure it out.
Fix this.
One second. Are you able to see now?
Dude, we have been practicing this for days.
Calm
This
down.
never.
Calm down.
What? Calm down. Fix this, man. We are in the middle of the presentation. You're paving path for us to lose or something.
Just 1 second. There's a slide missing.
Check that.
Okay, so actually this wasn't a part of a presentation, but actually this was a skit which we prepared. So we wanted to show everyone that in this situation, when the people are subjected to a situation like this, many people react in many different ways. And this is what our survey concludes. So next, move on to our survey part.
So Muskan will introduce the survey to us.
Hello. Time for a sneak peek into our survey. The survey we conducted covers a response of 100 people under the 10 questions we prepared, justifying our topic. Each question has 4 options against it, that is never, sometimes, frequently, and always. In the respondents are 48% female and 52% male, and the focus age group of our survey is 15 to 30 years of age. With the survey, we came across points like men are better than women, men tend to be triggered and use physical and verbal approaches, women tend to take indirect ways. The 10 questions further we had are divided into 4 broader categories for better clarification. I will now ask my friend to take the lead and introduce you to the 4 sections of the survey.
So now we are going to talk about our survey, which is the most important focus of our survey right now. So we divided our survey into 4 sections. That is, now we are going to discuss about our section 1, that is awareness about anger triggers. So the questions that we took into account for this part are: when friends accuse you of being angry, you can prove them wrong. That is, my verbal and assertiveness is shown in this kind of anger, in this type of question. I surprise myself by how angry I get and how I fight back. So this type of question shows retaliatory and passive aggressive anger in the same question. People say that they are afraid of me and avoid talking openly with me. So this kind of question shows behavioral anger in some way or the other. And only about 1/4 of the people, that is 39.8% of the people, have pointed that sometimes they are aware about their triggers, but do not have any specific means or ideas to act on it or actively know these conceptions. So only some people know that they are somewhat aware about their triggers, but not all the time, which can prove very drastic in some cases where they are not about to burst out. So only a whopping 9.3% of the population is aware of the triggers. This suggests a lack in their self-awareness and in the sample population. So this suggests that only 1/4 of a population is of a sample population is aware about their triggers, and the ones who are always aware about the triggers is shows a positive side of a survey. And the negative thoughts that triggers them may include overgeneralizing, jumping to the conclusions on a very immediate basis, and playing blame games with others, which shows retaliatory anger. So the management parts for this situation may include identifying negative thought patterns that trigger temper. So many people do not know what triggers them in certain kind of situations. So as we have already explained the physical manifestations, and here I'm going to explain some psychological manifestations of anger. So the people should know about, and they should try to judge what happens just before they are able to burst out. So their negative thought patterns can be identified, and they try to avoid that situation. And identifying any physical changes that take place in our body during this period. So as Ritik had pointed out, that adrenaline is released in our body, and we feel hot, we feel a sudden urge to punch somebody or do something physically to them. So identifying any physical changes that happen during just before this period would help us to ignore the situations, and identifying the fight and flight responses of the body in these times might help us in managing this kind of situations. So the section 2 of our survey includes physical and behavioral responsiveness, which is a very important aspect of anger, because many people lash out in a very physical way, which might harm them as well as the people surrounding them. So the questions that we have included in the survey are: I have broken, thrown or kicked objects during an argument, which is behavioral, retaliatory and self-abusive anger all in one, I guess. And I argue in a way that is verbally intimidating, loud and or abusive, which suggests verbal anger. I use body language to threaten, example, clenched fist or jaw, glaring looks or refusal to make eye contact. So this might suggest paranoia, assertive and behavioral anger as well. So as you can see in the pie chart, only about half of our population, that is 49.6% or 8% that is written, are able to are never aware about their responsibilities. That can suggest two things: that they are either very much aware of what triggers their responses, either they are actively just ignoring these conceptions that it's all right, this behavior is justified, I am justified in acting upon this. So special thought should be given to individuals who the responses are as always, that is 6.36% of a surveyed population, who always show their anger in a very destructive way. So this can lead to very harming psychological problems. This might also include schizophrenia and several IED disorders. And though anger should be expressed, the person loses a logical flow of thought. And this part includes two things: that what is the difference between anger and aggression. So anger is basically what? It is just a thoughtful manifestation of our account or the situation that is taking place. But aggression, as soon as it takes a form of physical abuse or something that is physical and harming others in a bodily or physical way, that is known as aggression. So the management issue is situation managing for the situation are: know when to seek help. Many people do not know that the boundaries that are there for a certain situation, and they think that their anger is justified, and even the people around them don't know. So a certain awareness should be given to the people on knowing how to seek help and when to seek it. Practice ways of cooling down, the constructive physical activities to direct anger, focusing on physical sensation of anger, and practicing breathing exercises. Though we can find this written everywhere, but many people do not know how to direct their anger, and special emphasis should be given on counseling sessions for these people so that they can direct their anger in a positive way. taking the reality check and rationalizing with the situation. And most people don't do this, and they think of their past experiences which have led to this, which angers them more, and building a will to forgive. This can only be done in a case of psychological intervention and a very, very severe case. So now I would like to pass on to my friend for the section 3.
Now we will be seeing the section 3 of our survey, which is the emotional and social responsiveness. The emotional and social responsiveness forms a key part in building interpersonal relationships, which can be drastically affected if the anger issues are not resolved. We asked the survey respondents questions like: number 1, I feel hostility towards authorities and people who interfere with my actions. Number 2, I have refused to participate socially due to anger and resentment. Number 3, I often make quick judgments and harsh statements about others. The survey showed that 7.76% of people have always experienced this state of mind, which might suggest severe social disorders like IED, intermittent explosive disorder, wherein people just lash out into rage or anger even in very small situations, or SAD, social anxiety disorder, wherein people just go into a shell and just stop communicating with the outside world, feeling that they might judge us or feel or make us feel embarrassed. Now, what are the management techniques for these situations? Number 1, rationalize the situation that is communicated. So don't just get cut off from the environment thinking that I am only wrong or I'm getting angry so much. Instead, try to communicate with each other. There might be a solution to your underlying problem. Number 2, finding the source of triggers and what type of environment and social responses affect them. So you won't be getting angry if you weren't triggered. So try to find the sources of your trigger and don't just try to ignore them. Instead, try to subside them so they would help you in future. Number 3, being an active listener. So just try to listen what the other person is trying to say. It may so happen that you may miss a very important advice due to your anger issues. Number 4, brief isolation to subside anger and focus on the present and the problem at hand. So many people go into self-isolation, but a short period of isolation can be very constructive. But on the other hand, if you go to isolation for a very long time, then it may be considered as just one thing, self-destruction. Now, moving on to the number 4 section.
The last and the 10th question of our survey was an important conclusory question that says, have you ever practiced anger management techniques? If yes, have they worked for you or not? Please specify. A considerable amount, that is 42% of the strength, said they haven't even ever tried ways to manage their anger issue. The rest, 58% of the people who said yes, they have tried techniques such as meditation, yoga, or taking spiritual help, etc., said that they did not very well function for them. The advice to people who say a yes or no, both, is similar. As explained in the previous 3 sections, know the type of your anger, know how to manage it, and if needed, take clinical help. Understand the physiological and psychological effects of your anger and tend not to believe in the myths. By this, we come to the end of our survey, where we saw the questions, their responses, our observation towards it, and conclusions were served hot.
And I would like to add something to the concluded part of our survey, that our topic anger management has a wider scope to it, and that it relates and incorporates the other topics that have been presented on by our fellow interns. That is topics like crimes against women and depression, yoga and meditation, and the one that is going to be presented on tomorrow, that is taming your wandering mind. So various strategies of anger management can be included in those, and the topics that have been presented on can be included in our topics. So I think there will be a very wider perspective if we get into the depth of this and present it in a way that it comes for a greater good for us. So I would now like to pass on to Muskan for the present scope of our anger management topic.
Coming to the next slide that says COVID-19, a fuel to anger and the challenge to anger management. You, me, and everybody sitting here would agree to the point that this lockdown period has served as a roller coaster ride to our emotions. We have seen, felt, and lived things like never before. Anger is common to all, I agree, but it becomes a problem when it is frequent, when it is intense, it starts triggering our physical and verbal response and puts our relationships into impact. Reasons for the anger in lockdown can be being confined in one space can be the major reason. Facing triggers that fuel your anger, for example, news highlights or maybe people not following the guidelines. Being unable to do the usual, like going to the gym or going to work. Relationships at your home can be under more strain than usual. And moreover, we have no access to social connections, which means there is a probability we won't find support where it was most probable to be. What can you do to cope up? Very simple. Monitor yourself, practice stretching, grab a frappuccino because drinking something cool can probably soothe your anger. Blow up a balloon, count backwards, breathe deep, listen to your favorite music, tap on your favorite dance, draw, paint, create, write, and most importantly, relax and choose ways to respond to the situations calmly.
Okay, so now as we have seen what is anger, what are different types of anger and their management techniques, now let's move on to the last part of our presentation. So often anger is taken as a very negative word, but I'm very sure then after seeing this example, your perception might be changed. So what comes to your mind when you see this image? Who is the person who comes to your mind when I say 6 sixes? Exactly, it's none other than Yuvraj Singh. He was the person who hit 6 sixes in a row continuously in an over. But what was the force that drove him to cross his limits? Yes, exactly. It was anger. Anger was the force anger was the actual force who drove him to cross his limits. So it was on September 17, 2009, when India was against England in the field, with Yuvraj Singh and MS Dhoni on the batting side with the English team. The drama began in the 18th over when Yuvraj Singh smashed 2 fours on the over of Andrew Flintoff. Andrew Flintoff got very much irritated. He got verbally engaged with Yuvraj Singh. The situation went very out of control and the umpires had to intervene. The situation got out of control because Andrew Flintoff said a sentence which infuriated Yuvraj. He said, "Come outside, Yuvraj, I'll slit your throat." Yuvraj was very much angry, and the emotions running inside Yuvraj's mind is being depicted in the poem forward.
Yeah. Stop me, good people. Don't you see? My temper is running away with me. Help, master, common sense. Are you afraid? God, mistress, prudence, come to my aid. Stop me, conscience. Stop me, I pray. My temper is running away. Dear brother, kindness, snatch after rains. Help me, or my temper will dash out my brain. Help, or I will get a treble fall. Help, help, shame, caution, love, or wisdom, and all.
So this poem beautifully explained what were the emotions running inside Yuvraj's mind. Now let's see what happened further. In the very next over, it was the English bowler Stuart Broad who faced the wrath of Yuvraj Singh, who hit 6 sixes in a row continuously. The ball never touched the ground after getting shot from Yuvraj's bat, and that was the point when history was created. He became the only person, the only ever cricketer to hit 6 sixes in a row continuously in a T20 format, which eventually led Team India to win the T20 World Cup and become the ultimate champions. Now it's up to you whether you want to convert your anger into something that can create history like Yuvraj, or just waste this valuable energy into something that would not only harm you, but also the people around you, as anger is only one letter short of danger. On that note, on behalf of Team Furious 5, I would like to thank everyone for listening to our sincere presentation attentively. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you, Anahita and team, for the wonderful presentation. I congratulate the team for their extraordinary effort and the great teamwork. Now, I would like to request Mr. Jitesh, the mentor of Team Furious 5, to share his experience for these 15 days training program.
So first of all, many congratulations to the whole team, the Furious 5.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So quick take, and a very honest and a quick take is that all of them were extremely young, and come from very diverse backgrounds. And the way they worked together was nothing short of awesome, because the way they were supporting each other. So one of the things that I always watch in a team is that how they are supporting each other. So they were really holding on to each other, encouraging each other. They realized the strengths and the weaknesses of each other, and I was continuously watching. So there's a very beautiful saying that when you take care of an organization, it is like cooking a fish. You ruin it by poking too much. So rather than poking too much, I was observing and learning a lot. So this was a great opportunity for me to learn from these youngsters. In fact, a part of this skit, I missed the skit. I in fact really felt that Muskan, you're a very good actor.
Thank you,
And
bro.
I actually thought she got very angry, and this little skit that they brought in between was really refreshing. And I have seen hundreds of presentations. This was a very honest effort, a great team effort, and I'm so proud of working with them. Each one of them is a gem, and I really can see them doing amazing in the future. I mean, I really see all four of you becoming leaders, world leaders, taking the country to world stage, and bringing a lot of joy to not only your families, but people who've been associated with you and the entire country. I'm so proud of you. I mean, I can go on and on, but I know we have very less time. I can just say that I am in awe, and I'm extremely proud of you guys. And I told them day one, I really don't care if they come first or second or whatever it is. I want them to work, do their best, all four of them, amazing, gems. And I want them to have memories of a lifetime. So they will remember all their life. So guys, thank you so much. I'm so proud of you. And I've seen you work so closely. And I know what great potential lies within you, infinite potential that lies within you. Please keep tapping into it and keep doing this teamwork. I think the greatest quality of a leader is how he performs in a team. Is it an ego-based activity, or is it a contributive activity? You guys were really each other's friend. So thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your views and experience you shared with your team. Now, I would like to request our jury members to share their views regarding the presentation, and if they want to ask anything with our interns. Rema ma'am.
Excellent presentation. I should congratulate all the team members. Equal partnership and participation, and very well presented. Of course, that small skit where everybody thought that, really Muskan was losing her cool. That was very, very refreshing. So also that clipping about Yuvraj Singh, which brought in a lot of joy while watching the presentation. My question would be regarding anger. So we often hear about road rage. So do you think when a person has learned the techniques of anger management, he or she will be able to bring down the incidence of road rage?
Ma'am, there is a slight idea of that he or she might retaliate to the situation, but after some time, if he tries to control it, if there is some kind of a willpower in the person, then he or she might try to do that. But in such cases, cases of road rage, basically, even we might see a calm person getting very angry in those situations because he feels a sense of loss to his property and all. So there is a slight chance that the person might not lash out basically, but if the person is practicing some kind of anger management and he's taking some kind of intervention in his life, I guess he or she can do that on a certain level. I cannot guarantee 100%, maybe 50, 60, 70%.
Excellent answer, Anahita. Thank you.
Raman sir, would you like to ask them?
Yeah, sure. So I think there's probably not much left to say, given the very encouraging words that your mentor Jitesh used. I think you guys are lucky to have such an encouraging and supportive mentor, right? He's already pronounced you to be world leaders. So what's left to say now? But I tend to agree with a lot of what has been said. First of all, what struck me was the perfect balance that you guys brought to the table. It was a very well balanced presentation, balanced from a multiple dimensions, right? So if you look at the theoretical underpinnings, the research, even the way you guys designed your questionnaire suggested that it was very well thought. Okay, unlike some of the other ones where I thought the questions sort of already suggested a particular answer, yours were fairly open-ended and genuinely trying to probe and see, which is the real goal of research. So I really like that. Of course, you covered some of the practical aspects very well, and then of course the overall presentation, the feel. The one thing that I disagree with the previous commenters would be the skit. I loved the skit, but I didn't think it was very convincing. You guys are too sweet to look angry, actually. So for not a minute did I think you were really angry. Okay, it did look like an act to me. That's a compliment if you haven't already picked that up. One question that comes to mind is, did you guys think about the evolutionary role of anger? I would have liked to see you throw a little more light on that, because remember, human mind, human body, human physiology has evolved over millions of years, right? We come from the sort of the reptilian world, and then the mammal world, and then finally humans. And so everything that we do has a purpose in nature. We are today what we are because it served some purpose. Otherwise, we would be extinct, right? So any thoughts on why you think our body responds in a way that it does? If anger is all bad, if all those stress hormones are bad, what is the role of anger in the evolutionary scheme of things? Any thoughts?
So
So
I
that
guess
is, you take it, please.
yeah, Muskan, you said.
No, please, yes, you take it.
Yeah. Sir, I guess hormones like cortisol or adrenaline, maybe it enhances our body and helps to motivate us as well. As we saw in our three system model: derived system, soothing system, and third one is the threat system. They are interconnected to each other, and hormones hormones uh, hormones mainly motivate us, and it will help us in the many things, like when we are in the exam, we can take our anger as the positive energy as well.
So I would like to add something to this. That just a simple line: too much of anything is harmful to us. So the stressful environment that we are living in right now, even the current situation of the pandemic as well. So we live in an environment that affects us as an individual, as a social being also. So these hormones that are being released in our body are just a side effect or an after effect of the things that we perceive in our lives. So whatever happens to us is just a bodily response of our hormones. If it is released in a too much amount, we might experience some kind of discomfort. So the evolutionary perspective does have a ring to it, but it takes a lot of research on a biological basis. And there is a model called biopsychosocial model. So if we have to, then we have to take it in the perspective of the biopsychosocial model, how our psychology, how our bio, and how our social lives affect us in a way that evolution cannot predict right now, but I think there will be a slight light on it in the coming future.
Yeah, so I think both of you did touch some of the aspects that I wanted you to touch, but I would say that the key thing that I would like you to go back and focus on, if you are really interested in this topic, would be think of the evolutionary importance of the fight or flight syndrome, right? One of you actually included that somewhere, but I think go deeper into that. That's actually required for your survival, right? When you face a lion or a tiger in front of you, your body needs the blood to rush, not to your frontal cortex, because thinking there, logic isn't going to help you. Running away may or may not, but gives you a chance, right? So you either fight or you flight. And therefore, it was very important for the survival of the body of the human being that rather than thinking too much, your thinking should be suppressed and emotions should take over. The amygdala that one of you was talking about is the center of emotions. It's your limbic system. It connects to your arms and legs and spinal cord, right? So that because you can't think and run, you just have to run or you have to fight. So it's very fascinating what anger can do, right? There's the Yuvraj kind of thing, but I'm saying there's more basic physiological benefit of anger that you need to understand and appreciate. But overall, very impressed, very, very balanced and very impressive presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Armina ma'am, would you like to add something to our interns?
I thoroughly enjoyed the presentation. I think it was kept us all totally focused on what was happening. Love the little piece with Muskan where she pretends to lose it. So maybe theatre is something you can look at also, because it was very cute. And there was an element of everybody enjoying themselves. Except just one thing, do you think silent anger is as destructive as this physical anger, or do you think that isn't? When people can be very angry but go silent. What, you have an opinion on that?
Just like one of my friends presented that iceberg concept, that what you see from outside is anger. But if you're trying to suppress it, it may build other emotions, like maybe if you're very angry and you just don't, I'm not asking anybody to rage it out, but if you put it in a positive way, talk to your dear ones, take a little support, counseling, then it's okay. But if you suppress it beneath you, it's going to lead to some kind of stress that may lead to depression or something. Just like we quoted that our topic is very correlated to every other topic the team has taken. That will maybe lead to destruction in terms of stress or depression, or maybe a blow of your mind, and things we'll collect inside, and some or the other day it'll come out in a negative aspect maybe. So it's good to talk, take counseling.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, our jury members. And now I would welcome Aarti ma'am to share her views on the session.
I really like the color of the slides, pink color. Good effort by all of you and excellent precision, like doing 100 service. Nice to know some benefits of anger also. Excellent team effort. I could see good example, good way of presenting the things. I feel totally engrossed into what you have shown. So Deepa, would you like to say anything?
Yeah, I would just like to congratulate Mr. Jitesh and his team. Excellent work. And your teamwork showed in your presentation, and the switch over from one person to another was also very nice. And at this age, learning that anger can be channelized positively is very nice, which you all showed in the last 2-3 slides. That was very, very nice. Congratulations. Very well presented.
Thank you, ma'am.
So congratulations, Jitesh, for such a nice polishing of the students about how to control your experiences. Maybe, as you said, might be helping.
Thank you so much. But again, the entire credit goes to these guys, completely to these guys.
Okay.
I am fortunate that I got an opportunity to work alongside them and I could observe and learn. So completely to them. And thank you so much for providing them this wonderful opportunity. And thank you so much to all the judges for their lovely feedback. Raman sir actually shared so wonderfully about the purpose of anger actually is for our own safety, for our own protection. Everything that evolution has brought us is actually to save this meat bag from some kind of a danger or the other. So I myself had anger issues, and I was able to really overcome them over time. I was able to not kill them, but channelize them. Like anger, like any other energy, can only be channelized. And my anger became righteous anger, and that's why I became a social activist. I started raising voice against a lot of injustices happening. That is how I was able to channelize my anger. Anger itself is a gift. If you're an angry person, you have to just realize how you use that gift. So thank you so much, Raman sir, and for this insight to the children. I'm sure they will go back and maybe probably look deeper into it, which is a very essential aspect. So thank you so much to all the judges for all the encouragement. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Once again, I want to thank all our jury members, mentors, Aarti ma'am, and on team and Team Furious 5 for this delightful evening and your valuable time for this wonderful session. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.